man gets to saying, believe what you want, he's lying, okay? You won. Whatever you accusing him of, he did that shit. Because that's what they revert to when they no longer have any excuses or they realize that they got caught up. Ain't nothing else they could say. He's lying. You won.
First of all, she can only speak for her man, not all men. See, there's a tendency for some people to give you advice based on their habit of poor dating choices. But let's look a little deeper into this by first acknowledging that maybe she's right about her own man. That when he gets backed into a corner of lies, his only recourse is to respond with, believe what you want. And that's fine and dandy. But the problem is when she decides to advise other women that is also the case for their men, and by extension, all men. But that would be inaccurate. So consider this. In an argument, when one of the parties involved reaches a point where they have to say, believe what you want, you see, it also suggests that no matter what you say, the person just doesn't believe you. And no matter what you show, the person just doesn't believe you. No matter how you reason, the person just doesn't believe you. So while this particular woman may have a boyfriend that lets her know that he's lying when he says, believe what you want, this is a response that both men and women give when they have reached a point where no matter what they say, there's just no satisfying you. See, it brings up a point made by comedian Chris Rock.
Don't argue. You cannot win. You cannot beat a woman in an argument. Because men, we are handicapped when it comes to arguing. Because we have a need to make sense. She's not in it for sense. She's in it for distance and irritation. How long can I talk before this mother snaps?
For the love of God!
So ask yourself, what is the motivation behind the argument that you're having? What is the goal that you're trying to reach? Is it to come to the truth of a matter? Or is it to win a contest? A contest that only exists in your head. I mean, after all, what did she say?
He's lying. You won.
So for her, it's about winning. And the first one to opt out of an argument that is going nowhere translates to her that you are a quitter. And a quitter translates to a loser. And a loser translates to losing the argument. And a lost argument means that you're guilty of whatever they thought you did. No, the real way that you determine whether or not someone is lying is by that person confessing to having been lying or by producing evidence that exposes them as having been lying. But arguing someone into a position where they opt out of the back and forth that's getting them nowhere is not evidence that they are a liar. It just means that they are unable to satisfy your suspicions because what you are looking for is a confession by way of competition. And whether you are a man or a woman that finds yourself in an argument with another man or a woman, it may be a good idea to determine whether or not you are in a heated exchange with someone who has better things to do than to convince you against what you've already made up in your own mind to be true. For as my father once told me, a man convinced against his will is a man of his opinion still, which means that changing your mind is your job, not mine, and that with all of the evidence presented, or a lack thereof, the truth is not determined by means of argumentum ad nauseum. But if he loves you and has a need to make sense, he may just let you win in exchange for peace of mind.
Support the channel by hitting the like button, commenting, and subscribing for more content.